historic landmark, and it is a haunted place. So we are going to be doing our paranormal investigation overnight, and we are going to see what happens. Is it haunted? Are we going to get anything? We don't know. We've got plenty of equipment to find out, and we are heading there as we speak. As soon as we get there, we'll do a tour of the place, and then after that we'll get settled in, and then we'll start filming later, and hopefully we'll have a good night.
Your destination is on the left.
Hello, welcome back to OLDanadventures. I know it's been a while, but been coming up with some things. Had to get financially stable more to start doing some more videos. But day's here. We have arrived. We're doing our first paranormal video, and we're here in Ballinger, Texas, and we are at the Olde Park Hotel. And we're about to go inside. We're going to get a tour of the place first, and then later on tonight we're going to start filming and do our investigation. Now hopefully we catch some stuff. If not, I guess it's okay, but we do want to catch some things, and hopefully you guys get to share along as well. And please comment along. If you happen to hear anything, we don't see anything, leave it in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and take that time to tap that button. We'll see you inside.
How y'all doing?
Good. How you doing? Name's Daniel.
Daniel, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Name's Dash. Nice
Dash,
to meet you,
nice to meet you.
Yes, sir.
Now, for y'all's team name, was it OLDanadventures?
Yes.
Like good old Dan Adventures?
Well, something like that.
Okay.
Just OLDanadventures.
Okay. Then I did it right on the TV. I was like, I wasn't sure if it's OLDAN is like a family name or something, so I was like, I'm betting it's Old Dan.
Well, my name's Daniel. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't really think of too much else. It's like, she was like, well, what about the OLDanadventures? Having adventures, and I was like,
Yeah.
why not?
It's easier to say than shenanigans.
And then, yeah, I'll just kind of capitalize the first three letters. And
Yeah.
go with
Awesome.
that.
Well, have you guys been here before?
We have not.
Oh, even better.
And
then,
actually, this is, I'm just starting a channel. I've
Okay.
already been to some historical places already. Been to Fort Phantom, been to
cool.
Buffalo Gap, the little village out there.
Yeah.
I've been to some of the forts.
Nice. So not strictly paranormal, just exploring and adventure.
Well, I made it.
We're cutting our teeth on paranormal investigations.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
Well, you started with a great one.
Well, I made it OLDanadventures because that way I could do more than just
Gotcha,
kind of
yeah.
one genre type.
Yeah, you're not pigeonholing yourself. That's great,
And
man.
I take it like everything's an adventure.
Sure is, man.
So life's an adventure. Everything you do is somewhat of an adventure.
Yeah, it's our family's YouTube page is the Wandell Family Adventures, and we do all sorts of stupid stuff.
So
And it's great.
that gives me more room to do other things other than just one thing. Thinking about
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as paranormal stuff, guys, what have y'all done so far?
Well, I've been watching YouTube for a long time. I've been watching all these guys go out and do exploring and paranormal and stuff, and I've kind of been wanting to do it for a long time. I finally went ahead and started up a channel, and I was like, you know what, I want to do that too. So
Yeah.
I added that in. We bought some equipment, and so we did actually go to the Lone Star Bridge. It was supposedly
Lone Wolf.
Lone Wolf.
The
Yeah.
Lone Wolf Bridge? Okay.
It's supposed to have been haunted, but we didn't catch nothing.
Yeah.
And there's not really anything substantially out there backing it up, so we weren't really
Gotcha,
expecting
no
much of
documentation.
anything.
Well, that's kind of the difference between a lot of places and us, is everything that I'm about to tell you about this place, we have a newspaper article, a death certificate, we have something documented to go, boom, there's our receipt.
Right.
So I'm not going to tell you any fluff or like he said, she said, because there was a lot of that kind of passed down to us. Of, he said, she said, town said this, it's a legend that this happened. you're not going to hear any of that from me. I'm going to tell you everything that I can point you directly to a newspaper article. In fact, if you go to our Patreon page, we have a section on it, even as free members and stuff. You can go to a section of it called History and Lore, and that's where we post all the articles. So like everything I'm about to tell you, you can go download the exact article for it. You'll be like, holy shit, that happened. It's all open public stuff. So I mean, like, that's public domain stuff. Help yourself to it. So.
Thank you so much.
To the paranormal too, and this is an affordable place that we can do right now.
Yeah.
And I want to do random.
Oh yeah.
I can't get a hold of anybody.
Yeah, you've basically got to annoy them till they finally go, what?
I've sent 2 emails already.
Yeah. No, you've got to stay on top of them. So I guess in the grand scheme of things, they have a whole bunch of things going on. So it's just like one little carving of us, and eventually they'll be like, okay, we answered the phone. What do you want?
I'd like to eventually do the Paramount Theater too.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I wish they were still doing the. Oh gosh, the town up the way, their theater. I just totally went blank. I love it when that happens. Yeah, there's a town up the way. Anna, what? It starts with an A. It's gonna make me mad now. But yeah, they've got a theater up there that's pretty haunted as well. So I think our little theater back this way is haunted. It's been shut down but quasi renovated for like 15 years. But for some reason they can't get anybody to like commit to doing it. And there's a lot of stuff that's here. We have a number of locations in town that are wildly haunted, and I think it's the trifecta of all the water that comes through here. We actually have limestone caves underneath us as well, which is even cooler. The city's got some entrance locations along the riverbanks that you can go into them. I wouldn't suggest it right now. We've had a lot of rain, so the river's high, so it might actually
Not
be
my
flooded.
thing.
It might actually be flooded right now, but it's pretty cool because historically, if you look back at the historical of this place, this used to be underwater. It used to be an ocean on top of it. So all the dirt out here, if you go out and just start digging, you're going to find seashells and shark's teeth and like the limestone bedrock that's indicative of coral reefs. So yeah, we have all of that underneath us. We have limestone caves and stuff like that. So I think geology, water, location, and history all kind of come together in this beautiful triangle right here where we're at, and it has caused some incredible activity. I don't know if you've been following our page at all and seen some of the stuff that we post, but everything here has been ramping up over the last year, and I think a lot of it's because when we just bought the building a year ago, and we've been remodeling and cleaning it out, and what they say, you start messing with a haunted location, stuff gets a little crazy. Well, I can vouch for that. 100% can vouch for that.
Also, do you have anything to do with that building across the street?
Not yet. We're actually working with the county. That is rentable. In fact, there might be enough time in the day if you wanted to rent it. They charge $250. They give it to you at 7. I think they take it back from you at 2.
You have to talk to.
It's actually the county judge. I actually have to call the county judge and be like, hey, I got somebody that wants to rent it. She'll meet you down here and sign a waiver. You have your cash. She gives you a receipt. And what's really cool is every time you rent that, it's actually tax deductible. So you can write it off because it's a 501c3 for the jail restoration project. So I'm trying to get them to give it to me. Because I really want to restore it at a much faster pace than they are, and I have the means to do it. So.
Because we're interested in returning and renting that place out as well.
Yeah, a lot of people do it. Like when they do 2 nights here, they'll typically grab that for one of those nights, and then they'll do the other one here. Great thing to do. It's like, this is my only bad comment I'm going to say about it. There ain't no AC in there. That building was built in 1925. AC didn't exist. So yeah, I mean it's literally a brick building with a steel guts inside of it.
Yeah.
So in the summer, ugh.
Oh yeah.
Coming October, November, December, place is amazing. Yeah. So like when you get into your months and you get into January, February, March, the jail is spectacular. It's a fun place to investigate. In the summer, it's a little brutal. Which is why if you do it in the summer, definitely spread it out over like, okay, this place and that place, so you can come back and go, okay, let's go. we're breathing again. So.
Well, if you could suggest some other places,
I will give you a place that you guys can actually go today if you want to. It's wide open. I can let Sergeant Torres, she's with the police department here, let them know that you're going to go over there, so they won't bug you. It's basically you go across the courtyard to that street, you turn left, you go down, and right before you get to the bridge, you're going to turn right. And right behind there is two really cool things. There is a historical marker for the original starting point of the Oregon Trail where it crosses the Colorado River.
Oh, nice.
So when everybody plays at Oregon Trail, this is where you started. And then right next to that marker is the George Washington Carver School for the Colored. And it's been abandoned for a long time. It's not a huge building, but you can go right on inside. And I will tell you, that place is wildly haunted. Wildly haunted.
Well, I'll just have to keep in touch with you when I'm ready to do something else.
Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely hook it up.
We got this for tonight, so.
Yeah. So lots of cool stuff. I can go on all day about different places here that are crazy.
That way also kind of helps me out. I'm not struggling for another.
Yeah, always hit us up. We can always suggest something nearby because there are probably 9 locations here in town that are actively haunted, and we have access to 6 of them. And so we're working on the other 3, and the other 3 are some doozies. One of them is the Carnegie Library. It's one of the last three Carnegie libraries left in the country that still operate as an actual library. And so that place, every time they do events over there, people get freaked out because that place is also haunted. So it's really cool. But I'm glad you guys are here.
Glad to be here.
So you want to start with some history, or you guys need to bring some stuff in?
We do need to bring our kit in because there's a lot of electronics out there.
Bring it in. Come on in. We broadcast live on Patreon, so if you're ever wanting a fun thing to watch, we stream these cameras 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I've watched a few of your
Yeah, and so a couple of things that we have here, that QR code, if you scan it on your phone, it'll pull up a little web page, and you can actually log in stuff that's happening to you. So if you hear voices, you hear a knock, a bang, you see something, it'll log it in our database. It'll also put it in the live stream, but then it also gives me something I can reference back when you go, hey, I need all the crap that happened to me tonight, because I will go back, use all your logs, pull all the camera footage for you, and put you a file on my cloud server and say, here's all your video files, download them.
That's crazy.
So we try to help everybody make better content because we're content creators too. Yeah, so just make sure you log where you were when it happened. The app will even, like that little app will ask, what room were you in, what time was it approximately. All you gotta do is get me close because the cameras are all AI as well. So as soon as you walk in, it's gonna start an event log. Like if you've ever watched our actual stream, it actually says like a face detected, a person detected, I hear speaking. Like it tells you all the things that the cameras are actually hearing in real time. So it helps me be able to go back and go, that's the point they're talking about, got them. And so I'll download all those little segments for you and put them on a drive just for you. I'll send you a link to it, and it basically acts like a drive for you. Click on it,
Sweet.
download. We tend to get this timing from about 6 o'clock to about 9 o'clock, kind of in this front area, upstairs and downstairs.
Okay.
And then from like 9 to 11, downstairs back gets really active. From about 10:30 to 2, upstairs back gets really active. And then from about 2 to 3, hold on to your shit, it's coming for you.
The witching hour, huh?
Yeah, this place just goes to 11 during witching hour.
They turn it all the way up
They
to
do.
11, huh?
I don't know if it's literally just the witching hour that causes it to happen, but we get so many people post from Patreon, oh my God, check your damn cameras, from about 3:15 to about 3:45. It's unbelievable. So, and that's when we've caught some of the craziest stuff we've ever heard here.
That's amazing.
Yeah, building being completely empty, but you hear people screaming at each other inside the building. We've got recordings of what sounds like people in a fist fight in here. Nobody's in the building.
Huh.
I live in Fort Worth, so I'm not even within 3 hours of here.
Yeah.
So like when people call me, like, hey, there's something going on in your building, I'm like, well, we'll find out next weekend. Like, there's nothing I can do about it this far away.
Welcome back, Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, and what's kind of funny is Sergeant Torres, the police officer I was telling you about, she's the one that fields a lot of the calls that come in about this building, because we get people that pass by in the middle of the night, they'll call the police because they see someone walking back and forth across the balcony, but there's no cars here. And so they'll call the police thinking somebody's broke in. It got so bad when we first bought the building, I gave the police department their own door code permanently. I said, you don't even have to call, just go in the damn building and don't call me at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to know about it. Like, unless you shoot somebody and I've got a mess to clean up, I don't want to hear about it. Like, I'm over it. Like, leave me alone. I need to sleep. So, because it was almost every other night we were getting phone calls about somebody being seen in one of the front rooms up there. I'm just like, oh, stop calling. So it's crazy. But yeah, welcome to the command center. So we'll kind of start in here because there's some historical things that are left over from when this building was first built. So when it was first built, this building was actually a 2-story, 3-bedroom home. And so it consisted of our front lobby, this command center, the kitchen, and 3 of the 4 bedrooms right above us. Now, one of those bedrooms used to be the second floor landing, and it got converted when they moved our staircase, which was right over there. So if you look going up our wall, you can see that the staircase actually used to go from the kitchen all the way up that way. So that big diagonal stripe was the staircase. We actually had it moved to the other side of this wall. And so the staircase you just went up used to be here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so it got moved. So 1886 is when this was always thought to be built. We know it was at least here in 1886 because it was here in June of 1886 when they did the town auction. And it was literally the only building standing. There was one other building right next to us that's only a couple of years older, but we believe our building was probably built in 1880-ish. So we think it's probably 5 or 6 years older than 1886. But we officially know it was here in 1886, so that's the date we go with. But the railroad built it for a boarding house. The Seacrest family bought it shortly after the railroad made it through town and started moving on towards San Angelo. They bought it, I believe it was 1889 is when they bought it from the railroad. And they ran it from 1889 to 1919. There were some management changes in there, but the Seacrest family owned it until 1919. And we'll talk about why they sold it, or my theory of why they sold it, and it'll make a lot of sense. Housekeeping note, refrigerator, microwave, cold water in there. Help yourself to all the cold water. If you're a coffee drinker, my wife is a coffee snob, and so let me show you this because this is worth it. So, coffee bar.
Oh, wow.
Holy moly.
We have this coffee custom made for the hotel. This is a mild medium roast. This medium roast has a hint of cinnamon, and this is the dark roast that my wife lovingly calls black like my soul. So it's a coffee that bites back. Cups, all the stuff, creamer, stuff like this. If you prefer other types of creamers, we do have some other creamers in the refrigerator. But you have your hazelnut, French vanilla, and original. We also have some frou-frou coffee up here of like Cinnabon cinnamon roll and some Snickers. So help yourselves to all of that. But we have that coffee specially made for us. And believe it or not, Sergeant Torres and her husband, they actually import old beans, grind them, and roast them here. So they actually make it locally. So we always try to support local where we can. And so everything we do here is we utilize everything local we possibly can. So definitely help yourselves. And if you like the coffee, the cards are in there. You can call them and have them make some something for you.
Heck yeah.
Good.
Now, this is where you'd think this whole area is safe space. Well, that's a lie. We get so many people that come here and they sit in that room right there because they think they're safe. And I will tell you right now, I've sat in that room with numerous groups, and we've had somebody actually walk from the kitchen all the way in the lobby.
Wow.
And
Through here?
right through there. They just walk right there like we don't even exist.
That's
like
crazy.
just like we lose our shit when it happens. It's about a once a month kind of thing. So once a month, this lady just walks through the damn place. And
That's crazy.
I don't care how many times you've ever seen something paranormal, when this stuff happens to you, your brain just goes, what the hell?
Right.
Hardwired fault change, you know, it's like something just goes, I don't get it. But it's so amazing when it does happen, because then you're just so pumped and energized. But do not let your guard down when you're in there, constantly listening, because you'll hear, like you'll be sitting there having a drink or whatever, and you'll just hear footsteps run down the hallways upstairs. Like just go
wow.
So we have kids that are here, and they're very playful. I would be shocked if you don't. That's how frequent. One of our spirits named Wilma, she loves anything that lights up.
Really?
So we have a Christmas tree upstairs that she's learned how to turn off and on the light.
Oh, wow.
And we have a teddy bear that sits at the bottom of it that she has learned how to touch and turn on. It only turns on by pushing the little tummy buttons. But she's learned how to do it. So if you see sparklies coming underneath like you're watching the TV and you see the Christmas tree there and you see something sparkling under it, she's turned it on, go talk. Because she will talk. So,
Okay.
like, she's incredible. She's our
Speaking
little
of
rock
which,
star.
Dan, your recorder, in case anything happens on the tour.
And anytime you leave this building, leave a voice recorder roll. I've caught incredible EVPs in this building, completely empty. And they're usually of a little girl talking. It's freaking phenomenal. So always leave a voice recorder somewhere in this building. And I always tell people, if you don't think anything's happening, you should be rolling audio. the whole building intact. And one of those, actually, three of those reasons start right here. So in 1913, we had a gentleman here, or no, sorry, 1919, we had a gentleman here by the name of Charles Wilson. He's been living here for 2 years. He packed his bags one day, came downstairs. The newspaper article says he had bought some strychnine from the Kiel drugstore, and he packed his bags, came downstairs, looked at the manager behind the desk, and said, "I'm going to go work somewhere else now." Drank his vial of poison and died before he made it out of the front door. Now, what's crazier is if you're sitting down here and you hear this, don't lose your shit. It happens a lot, and we think it's a residual thing because 3 months after Mr. Charles Wilson killed himself right here at our front door, that wonderful manager was getting ready to leave. His name was W.A. Stokes. I believe it's Walter something Stokes. He was getting ready for a night out on the town with his new missus, and they were going to the theater to go watch a movie. As they left the building, one little detail she forgot to mention was that she had not quite completed her divorce yet. And so her husband is standing outside with a shotgun where he lovingly unloads it into Mr. Stokes' stomach, and he literally, it's freaking hilarious. I say hilarious, it's traumatic, but in the newspaper article, he goes, quote, this is from a witness statement, quote, "Oh my God, you've killed me." Like, that's your final thoughts, right? But he died right there outside our door from a shotgun blast to the chest.
Wow.
1925, that jail is barely 4 months old, September 1925. A young African-American boy named Robert Latour, he was 15 years old. He was accused of assaulting a 9-year-old white girl. He was arrested in the morning, they took him to the jail, and a lynch mob formed. And they wanted, mob justice. Well, the sheriff, in all of his wisdom, thought he should get the boy out of town. Well, usually you don't do that while the mob is standing there waiting for you.
Right.
But, in his genius, he tried to get this kid out. Now, my thought is, if the jail, again, 3-month-old jail is as good as you think it is, toss the keys in and said, when they leave, kid, let yourself out. I mean, your jail should be able to keep people out just as good as it keeps people in my opinion.
Yeah.
But anyway, so sheriff goes, "Let's get out of here," and he loads him and the kid up in the car, and they go. And as they were getting right here, the mob overturned the car. The kid crawled from the car along with the sheriff, ran to our front door to try to seek shelter, and they actually dragged him off our front porch, took him all the way that way to the river, tied him to a post, and then riddled his body with bullets.
Wow.
Would you like to know where that newspaper article showed up?
Sure.
The New York Times. Way to go, Ballinger. 1925, Ballinger made national headlines because of a lynching of a 15-year-old boy.
Great.
What a bunch of dumbasses.
No kidding.
So, yeah, so 3 deaths right here alone. And we don't have to go far for death number 4. So right here is where things start to change in the building. So we went from 1886 behind you guys, and we step into this hallway, and we get a view of a new era. So this used to be an outside wall, but then in 1905, we added everything upstairs and downstairs right here. So not all the way back, just right here at the front. So 1905, we expand for the first time in our history, and we're starting to look more like a real hotel rather than just a boarding house.
Right.
Well, it's unfortunate because right where I'm standing in 1919, little Wilma Colburn, who was almost 6 years old, had a tragic accident. Now, Wilma Colburn is special. She's the little girl I was telling you about that does a lot of playing right here, and you'll catch her on voice recordings. She was the daughter of Octavia Seacrest, and Octavia Seacrest was the daughter of William H. Seacrest, who owned the building. Now, remember when I said they owned the building from about 1889 to 1919? I'm pretty sure this is why they cut ties with the building. So her and Octavia or Octavia and this other girl were playing in this hallway, and the other girl, who was 14, had what's called a target rifle. It's basically a .22 one-shot training rifle that they would use. She thought it was unloaded, and they were playing some kind of game, and for whatever reason, from that end of the hallway, she pulled the trigger, and the bullet went straight through Wilma's left eye and out the back of her head, and she died right here.
Wow.
And just so you know, her death certificate is up here in the front, in the lobby. So now we're going to go this way. We'll talk about the past of this building, because this building not only has its own deaths, it also has its ties as kind of a, an associate in others' deaths. So the building next door to us is now a Mexican restaurant, but back in the 1890s, it was a saloon. And that saloon was called the Senate Saloon. And in there one day, word got out that good old Manny Clemens, who was a wanted criminal for cattle rustling and all sorts of other crimes, was in there playing poker and having drinks. Well, county sheriff goes, let's go see if that's true. And as he's peeking through the windows getting ready to come into the building, he goes, yep, there he is. Doesn't even give Manny the chance to surrender or come quietly. He literally opens the door and shoots Manny square in the face.
Wow.
Well, this is an unfortunate thing because Manny has a brother-in-law. And his brother-in-law is a very well-known killer. His name is Jim Miller. Jim the Killer Miller. Now, if you don't know who Jim Miller is, you definitely know some of the crazy crap that's happened to him. Have you ever seen Back to the Future 3? So you know that scene where Marty McFly is getting ready to fight and he gets shot in the chest and falls down, and he comes over and he goes, oh, I've just got the cast iron plate on him, and he punches him or whatever.
Yeah.
That actually happened in real life. And that was Jim Miller. That whole Western myth and theory legend comes from a real incident that Jim Miller did in a gunfight to kill another person.
Wow.
And so crazy. I couldn't believe it myself until you go read it's not an autobiography, his biography. But then there's movies about Jim Miller, all about his life, because he was said to have killed his grandparents at the age of 8. He actually got the name The Killer because he was a Texas Ranger, and he got kicked off the Rangers because he was killing people just for fun and using his badge to get away with it. He actually, even in 1902, I believe it was, ran a newspaper article in the Fort Worth newspaper that said, I will kill any man for $150. And my thought was, did the cops not I mean,
Right.
that's murder for hire. That's always been illegal. As far as I know, that's always been illegal. So something's not right here. But anyway, Jim, finding out that his brother-in-law had been murdered, took it upon himself to come and get revenge. Well, as soon as that incident happened next door, the town said, all right, saloons, we got to close. It's getting too rough. It's getting too wild. Well, lo and behold, Mr. Townsend takes that building under his own wing and turns it into a grocery store and a restaurant. And one day, late in the middle of the night, or right as he's closing, he hears somebody call for him from the other side of the restaurant. And so he goes to the back to check and see who it is. And from the shadows, a man shoots 2 rounds from a double-barrel shotgun and almost blows off Townsend's arm.
Wow.
Well, they believe that man was Jim Miller, because his most favorite weapon was a double-barreled shotgun. And that's what he used to kill a lot of people with. Now, fun things to see right here. This picture was actually taken in 1902. And that is us, that little white 2-story house right there.
Oh my goodness.
And so where we're standing right now is actually in that alleyway space between us and the restaurant next door.
Dang.
Yeah, now what's really crazy is that jail that's across the street. If you look at the building that's just to the left of it, that used to be the very old jail. And it used to be 2-storied. And if you look right here, you can actually see the top of that building in that red circle right over there. And so that used to have the hanging gallows on top of it. And it was like a gazebo up there.
Goodness.
Because they would hang you from it and leave you there all day as don't do stupid shit in our town. And I guess that's one way to get your message across. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, some really cool photographs here of the town as it was way back in the day. Some of the previous owners, the Seacrest sisters, the Keel sisters. Like this hotel was very much woman driven. So women kind of ran it for the most part because, the Seacrest, they had $5. Mr. Keel had 4. I mean, it's just crazy. The man I'm betting he got no rest. It's too many girls for my taste. My poor Uncle Howard up in Washington's got $5. I can only imagine. I got 1, and she just we call her Hurricane Ellie for a reason. All right, so now we're going to go down here. We have our parlor room. This is a fun room. Music triggers are great in here. Music boxes, playing music, anything like that. Because we used to be a music studio. So, all right, we're going to walk around this way. We do have a psychomantium, which is a room with mirrors that you go in and kind of like scry into them. I always tell people when you go in there, have your phone ready, because what will happen is a lot of times you'll start taking pictures and your reflection behind you, it just starts looking like there's a whole nother room behind you.
Oh, wow.
Which there shouldn't be. And people have taken pictures of people standing behind them, people walking behind them, again, and like looking into somebody else's room through a window. I can't explain that one.
Wow.
It's kind of cool. So I don't know if it has to do with the mirrors specifically, or if it's just when you have all those mirrors together, you're kind of creating a quasi-portal kind of thing. So, and then this is where we go. I was telling you, we have some of those moments in our building where you go, oh shit, and you kind of feel it in your chest.
Yeah.
This is one of those. So welcome to the back building. We're crossing into the newest portion of the building, which was built in 1915, so it's still over 100 years old. All the lights down here pretty much work. There might be some rooms that don't have their lights on. In fact, I'll show you. So like, the first light switch is all the way down here.
Wow.
But you know, we keep some lights on just to make it easy. But if you need them on for filming, feel free to turn anything on you want. Just turn them off before you go.
Yes, sir.
We have our controller room. This is a fun room to just sit and listen to the building. I don't know why this room's so good at letting you hear both sides, but it is. My absolute favorite room is up here to sit in. But we do have our casket room because from the early 1900s to 1905, when they built the first funeral parlor, we actually, not just us, a lot of people like to close the lid and do EVP sessions inside of it. You right on.
No, thank you.
I think the only time I want a casket lid closed on me is when I'm going into the ground. This is our Ouija board room. The table in here is a full Ouija board. It's a really cool furniture piece. It's clearly not usable as a Ouija board. It's too big, too awkward, your back is going to hurt. But we do have some Ouija boards around the room. This is a fantastic room to listen to downstairs because you can hear all the footsteps echo. You can just kind of hear everything moving around, even above you. So it's a great camp out spot just to kind of hear what's going on with the building.
Interesting.
We have this room right here, which is our seance room. Again, another Ouija board in there. This is our seance room mostly because Patty Negri, who does a lot of stuff with Ghost Adventures, she comes here every Christmas and does an event called the Ghost of Christmas Past. This year, I think it's number 4. But this is the room she loves to use for that. She's always drawn to this room, so we just set it up as the seance room. And she has done some incredible things in this room that I cannot explain.
Wow.
So it's one of those things that if you want to come to a crazy event and have a crazy experience, that's the one. That's the one. Some neat things we found out in this room. I thought this building was built in a time period where we were going to have lath and plaster. So we were going to have wood slats, the plasters over it. Turns out it's actually steel mesh. So, which makes this a Faraday cage.
It does.
So when you run a spirit box in here, all you will get is static. Unless you go stand by that window, you will not get a radio station in here. You will only get static because it can't get out of here. In fact, we have whole building Wi-Fi, and these downstairs rooms are the hardest rooms for me to get Wi-Fi signal into because of this. So, it's crazy
No
horrible.
live streaming in here.
Well, you can just do what she's doing.
From
Stand by the door looking in versus being in the room looking out. Because you can get about this far in the room with your live feed, but any further than that, and it's going to start trickling on you. And it's an enterprise grade one. It should dominate this space, but because of all of this metal mesh, it just goes bam. But it's really cool because it's a great thing to know when you go do spirit box sessions because anything that comes through is not radio. You cannot get a radio signal in here.
Oh, wow.
This room is a fun room. It started off as a way to get all the Halloween props that were left over from the previous owners out of the building and somewhere in a centralized thing. We're not big on the hokey kind of stuff, but my wife's birthday is right before Halloween, so she's like, no, we have to keep the Halloween props. I'm like, yes, ma'am, you win. And so I was like, well, let's put them all in one spot. She's like, great, we can put them all in one spot, and then people can sit in the room and just get Hollywood out of their system, right? I was like, okay, great. She's like, oh, by the way, paint it all black. And I went, seriously? She's like, yeah, all black room. Okay, deal. And so I sat her in here, and I'm going to do this real quick. I sat her in here. Oh, I'm glad I did it because the red light's not even on. We must have had a power outage.
No, this is...
People have actually caught him move on his own. People swear to me that they've seen his eyes move, they've seen his hands move, and they've heard him laugh. F that. I'm not scared of clowns, but I sure as hell don't want a 6'7" clown laughing at me.
No.
So We did this, yeah. We did this room like this, and I had my wife sit right there, and we have it on video. She goes, "I love it!" And then I went, and she went, "This is a terrible idea." But sitting here with just that red light, and I don't know if it's the red light messing with you, but after about a minute and a half to 2 minutes, things start looking like they're moving. I cannot explain it. I don't understand it. It has to be something with the eyes, or maybe they're actually freaking moving. But it really starts to play with you, and you think things are starting to like creep in on you, or like especially that asshole right there in the back corner, that clown. He looks like he starts getting ready to, like, it looks like he's almost dipping down more to leap out at you, and that's when I'm like, "Yep, peace out, buddy."
Yeah.
I don't like it, and this room gives me the heebie-jeebies for sure. And it shouldn't, because it was designed to make you go, "Okay, yeah, this is all fake." And then you get in here and you're like, "Jesus Christ, why am I so nervous?" Like
That dark,
yeah,
creepy factor.
it's something else.
Creepy.
It's something else. All the way to 1953, and then they lost it for a little while until one of the relatives, and I can't remember the exact lineage, I want to say it was his grandson that bought it back in 1984. I think it was 4 or 5. 1984 or 5. And him and his daughter kind of restored the place a little bit. They turned it into an antique shop, and they couldn't tell if that was above us or outside.
It sounded like it was about
Okay.
outside.
Okay. Yeah, see, while this may look like a window, it's actually been plastered over from the outside. So it's solid. And so they owned it from like 1984, 1985 till 2016 when they sold it to Dan and Connie. Dan and Connie owned it from 2016 to last year when we bought it. Me and my wife bought it. So there have not been a lot of owners of this place. There was a bunch of back and forth for like the 15 years that the Keel family and Dan and Connie owned it and us owned it. But for the majority of this place, it's been under a fairly singular ownership. So not very common that you get that kind of longevity. A lot of places like this turn hands a lot. Now what's crazy is we go upstairs and we have this all over again. Everything downstairs is repeated upstairs. So let's go upstairs.
Seems like a really long hall.
It is. And the upstairs one seems longer somehow. I'm not sure how or why. Feel free to leave this door open. Just before you guys go, just make sure this door and the one above it is closed. That way we can keep the air in the places we want to keep cool, but you're more than welcome to leave this open the whole time. Same thing for the upstairs one, but I will say the upstairs one, we tend to leave shut because it will open on command. We've had people sit in the chairs upstairs and actually film it and ask it, "Can you open the door?" And the door opens. So feel free to leave it to let the air get back there, but if you're going to get up there to start investigating, I would shut it and ask because it does often open. In the late 1890s, we were a brothel, and in fact, we got referenced as the best little brothel in Ballinger, which I thought was hilarious because it sounds a lot like the best little whorehouse in Texas,
Right.
which is a crazy little musical if you've never watched it. So,
I've heard of it.
Dolly Parton, let's go. But it kind of makes me wonder, is that kind of where they got the inspiration for the name?
Right.
So, but anyway, that was in an article in 1900. And so it's just kind of funny to think that we got accused of that so quick out of the gate. It's like, "Oh yeah, remember the brothel up the street?" It's like, all right.
Yeah.
And then we were a brothel a second time in the 40s, the early 40s, because just down the street is Bruce Field. It's a municipal airport now, but it used to be an Air Force training facility. And so while it was in operation, we were also a brothel. So I always like to say we were servicing the servicemen.
Right.
So we kind of call this our madam's room as an homage to our brothel days. So there are some pictures on the wall that are a little lewd. So don't be surprised, but they are of the time. So we actually have some really old photographs of some very early pinup style stuff and early erotica that we're going to put up in here. I know some people could say it's distasteful, but it's kind of an homage to what this place was. And so historically it's accurate because they would have had things like that in the building to increase your desire. It was just another method to get the guys get ready to get rid of their money. And so it was, everybody does it. You got to grease that palm so the money slides right out of it, right? So
Right.
Get them excited. Now, I will say, if we ever had a bed that looked like a horse bed, this is the bed. But we cannot find another round one. So I'm just like, no, what do we do? Because it's such a cool bed, but I don't even know where to start to try to find a round mattress. You know, you can go the total wrong route, put a swing in here and weird toy like all right, this is modern brothel, that's old brothel. Do you see the difference?
Daniel, you gotta chill in here and tell the ladies it's your birthday.
Dude, if you go in the manager's room and you put money out and you sleep in that room, you will not get rest. You'll have people sit on the bed, you feel like you're getting touched. Like they will mess with the guy in there. Women, no problem, out cold. But a guy goes in that room and they get messed with all night long. Feel free to go on the balcony as well. It's a great place to watch the town goes by. It's also a great place to watch the weirdos walking around at night. Here we have our poker room. You will hear the sound of chips doing this at some point. It happens damn near every night. You'll hear that.
Wow.
So we know we were smuggling booze. We know we were a quasi-saloon, even though we weren't supposed to be. And so we've kind of got all that wrapped up. You know, if you have a brothel, of course you're slinging dreams. We were a speakeasy for a little while. In fact, one of the rooms in the back building, we're going to turn into a speakeasy again with a hidden way to get into it. So we're going to block it up, and you've got to figure out, you know, what books you got to pull on the bookshelf that will unlock the door to get into it. So we've got lots of things coming for this building. Like we've just started really doing the major renovations. We've already got a new roof coming. We've already paid for it. We're just finally waiting for the rain to stop, which I think we're hitting it now. So the new roof should go on anytime.
Nice.
And then we're doing a full restoration in this building. From floor to ceiling, everything's getting gutted and redone, bringing it back to what it was at the turn of the century. So we found some original plans. We found some original photographs. Like the front of the building actually didn't have all the stucco at the front where the balcony was. That was all wrought iron. Back here, this building, it was all wrought iron. It kind of looked like New Orleans style with all that fancy scroll wrought iron. So we're going to bring it all back. We're going to have a garden and everything. This place was famous for its rose garden. There were national newspapers talking about the variety and types of flowers that were here, roses specifically, that were here, that were incredible and a sight to behold because some of them were extremely rare. So we're going to bring that all back and get this really kind of done back up. We want this place to look sharp enough in the back and everything that you would want to have a wedding here. Like that's what we want. Of course, it's going to be not your white wedding because that's boring. We're the alt wedding. Like, oh, you want to wear black? Cool with us.
Have some extra gas.
Yeah. Now, when I said one of the bedrooms used to be the landing, this is it. In fact, you can see right here where our staircase used to come up. And so when you came up here, this is where you actually entered the second floor. And so you actually came out to this whole front area right here, and this is where you came in, and those three rooms were there.
Huh.
Now, we did used to have a balcony that ran all the way around the building that side, and it kind of lines up with our balcony that we have. Why aren't you staying there? This
Somebody
door normally
having fun?
swings the other way. What is going on? Instead, or not, this door normally goes that way. Okay, I'll just get out the way then. Like it normally goes the other direction. So he's like, get the hell out of my room, I'm trying to take a nap. And then more bedrooms down here. If you need to take a shower, all the bathrooms work, but I will tell you this one is by far the best one. But help yourself. You got a bedroom out here on the balcony, which is a cool place to sleep. Bathroom here, bedroom here. Again, feel free to use whatever rooms you want. But yeah, it's a great place to take a nap. And then this is our 50-50 suite. But it's kind of a cool space because it's got a living room and a bedroom and a bathroom. So it's almost like a little apartment. But it's a great little space. This was one of my favorite rooms to sleep in. It is tough to sleep in there sometimes. When this room pops off, it pops off in a kind of ugly way. So I'm not sure why. We haven't figured that out, but it basically says, get the hell out of my room. This is the Christmas tree I was telling you about that Wilma has figured out. This is the light. This is the only light on this tree with a battery. If you see this lit up, she's trying to talk. The only way to turn this off and on is that remote right here. One of them is dead. One of them works. See if I picked up the one that works. I did not, so it's the other one. There it is. She'll turn that light on. And what's crazy is if you're trying to see it light up downstairs, a lot of times when she's letting you know she's ready to talk, that light takes like 3 minutes to come on. Like it goes and just comes
Okay.
on. Yeah, there's no on and off switches. It's purely the remote. So like you can't just come over here and like click it on or
Well, apparently.
okay.
You can.
That's just not screwed in all the way. The only way I know how to turn it off is with the remote.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, I mean, if that's Wilma, can you light it up again? I want to touch it again just to see if it was me. How am I doing that? Must be the battery inside. Like again, there's no on and off switch, so the fact that it's coming on is kind of weird.
Huh.
Oh wait, is it? Nope, it's not the IR triggering it. Thought maybe the IR was setting it off, but nope. It must be that the battery is hitting that contact and lighting it up.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
If
when
you
we
whack
get
it hard enough. That's good to know, though. That gives me another way to test and debunk on that thing.
back. True.
Welcome to the other half of the building.
Wow.
In fact, I'm going to go ahead and turn this AC on. It'll help a little bit.
Yeah, watch your step.
Now, as far as sleeping in this building, I will say this bedroom right here, the most comfortable bed in the whole building.
Nice.
The only caveat to that is we did have a previous owner die in this room.
Oh.
So John passed away in this room in 2012 from a heart attack. Natural causes, nothing crazy, but that is the room he was in when he died. As far as the fans and stuff, feel free to turn them on and off. They're purely for airflow. We have a doll room. She has a rosary on her for a reason. So like I say, if you do take her out and you take the rosary off of her, put it back on, put her back in, she gets to be a handful if you take that rosary off of her. We have people getting bit, scratched, yelled at, being told I am Satan. Like, I don't think she's demonic, but she is a cunt. Yeah, I don't think she's any of that. I think she is a very pissy person. And, you know, if you're an asshole in life, you're probably an asshole in death. So
Yeah, no.
I don't think you just suddenly are transformed into a better person. I think your personality comes over. Now, there are 3 dolls in this room I will tell you to watch out for and listen for. Because this guy right here, this girl right here, they have both moved and talked on their own. Neither of them have batteries in them. So yeah, explain that shit. There's a video of this guy crawling off this cabinet behind you while I was vacuuming this floor. And it took me a solid minute to figure out what the noise was, because I just heard this like ratting, but he was like, his gears were like crawling in his arms. I finally saw him and I'm like, oh hell no. Like, no, I'm done with that. I don't need that in my life. And she will try to get you to pick her up. She will try to guilt you into it, con you into it, trick you into it. Like any way she can get you to pick her up. She constantly says, oh, that makes me sad. Will you hold me? Give me a hug. I need hugs. Can you pick me up? Like, oh, let's go for a walk. Will you take me for a walk? Pick me up. Like, she constantly tries to get you to pick her up.
Chucky started off nice
Dude,
too.
yes, thank you. Somebody that has some common freaking sense. Yeah. And then the other one is this little girl right here. She is a wind-up music box doll. She has not been wound since October. She should not make a single peep. But every now and then, she goes off for like 10 or 15 seconds. And she plays Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. So da-da-da-dee-da. That's what she plays. So this is a great room to leave a recorder running in. Because if you hear that, it's her.
Any of them spell anything on the board?
We have been trying to figure that out. We thought we saw some of these moving on camera last month. Haven't seen anything just like completely rearranged, but it did look, we had one of them fall off. So we know a letter has fallen off on its own. Could that have been coincidence? Sure could. But there's been a couple of times where I've scrolled real fast through the timeline and I saw the letters like do this. I was like, whoa, wait, hold on. And like over the course of 5 minutes, you can't tell. But if you go real fast over like an hour, it's like,
That's crazy.
yeah. So it's like, whoa, okay, there might be something going on there. So it's kind of one of those things that I'll do a time-lapse photo off that, or video off that camera just to say, in the last 24 hours, has anything on that board moved? And most times it's no, but every blue moon we'll get, it looks like they've moved about a quarter of an inch. I'm like, It's weird. And it's not down like gravity, it's up.
Right.
So, that's a weird one. This room bugs me out. I don't like going in it. You're welcome. That's about all I know about that room. I can't explain why I don't like that room. We tore the carpet out of it. We did a lot of reno work in here just by like. There's no light switch in this room. It's one that I gotta fix and redo the wiring in. But like, I don't know what it is about that room. I just don't like going in it. And then the bathroom just goes right on into the next room. Now this room belonged to Mr. Charles Wilson, and him and his wife actually lived here for almost 2 years. And when they first moved in, all the article says is Mrs. Charles Wilson commits suicide at Park Hotel. So we don't even know her first name. We just know Mrs. Charles Wilson. And that one's kind of a struggle for us because we've been looking really hard trying to find her full name. We know Mr. Charles Wilson. The only problem with his name is that seems to be a really common one. And we can find his name everywhere, and we can't narrow it down. So we don't know a birth date, we don't know how old he was, so we're having a really tough time trying to figure out who exactly he was. But the only thing we got is his death and her death all say they happened at the Park Hotel. So, but yeah, this was his room. His wife committed suicide in here somewhere, and then he did it downstairs at the front door. So, it's unfortunate, very unfortunate. One of my favorite things to do in this room, and I say I wish it would rain, but I don't because, I mean, now I don't care. The roof's about to go on. But it's in a lightning storm. This room is fucking awesome. So I come in here and I just sit, and the lightning out here is just foo, 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 and it creates the weirdest shadow play you will ever see in your life because of all the like studs and wires and stuff, like all the stuff that we've dug out of here. Yeah. It is such a crazy room. It's straight out of a freaking horror film. I love it so much. Now, straight out of a horror film is this door, and I would love for everyone that comes here to try and attempt to debunk this. Camera right there. And I only installed this camera as security. It wasn't meant to monitor this room for paranormal activity. Again, this room used to be full of garbage and full of stuff. So like, you couldn't even get back here. But we cleared it out and got it all gone. And then one day, this door opened on its own. And I went, oh shit, I should probably have a camera in here just in case that happens again. Or, I mean, it's not like it would be hard to break in through this, right? Well, this door opened, and I have no idea how. Because one, there's a screen door on it that's locked on this side, so they hinge opposite directions. And then two, I mean, it's pretty good and latched, but the other culprit here is, that is a spring-loaded lock. To a lock I don't have a key for.
So you can't gradually turn it?
No. So you can't just gradually like turn it, it's all or nothing. Like, it either is locked or it's not. There's no like half-ass locking. I mean, when this thing is in its upright position, she's shut. So we don't know how this door opened. You know, so people say, "Oh, somebody opened it from the outside." And I'm like, "Well, if that's the case,
right? How?
How? Because the lock over there is where the lock on the screen door is. So good luck with that theory." And what's crazy is the last time it did it, we had a thunderstorm 2 days before it happened. So if the 90-mile-an-hour, in fact, it throws a tornado up in winters. If tornado weather didn't open the door, something else did. This is going to be the prohibition room. We're going to build a bookshelf across here, and you're going to have to figure out how to get in. It's kind of like weathered a little bit, and so it's gapped, and I don't want anybody to catch their foot. So you will not fall through that. I've jumped on it. This is the rocking chair you were thinking about. So my buddy Ryan, he likes to come here. When he first gets here, the first thing he does is he beelines it back here. And him and John